You know that feeling where you are lying in bed and your mind is still sort of running, still going over the day, still making little lists, still replaying moments that do not really need to be replayed anymore. Yes, I know that feeling too. So here is what we are going to do tonight. We are going to board a very quiet train together. A slow one, a warm one. And by the time we reach the end of the line, you will be somewhere much softer than where you started. But first, before we go anywhere, I want you to get comfortable. If you need to shift your pillow, go ahead and shift it now. Pull your blanket up a little. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench, and just notice how good that feels, even if only a little. You do not have to try to fall asleep tonight. That is the thing about sleep. The harder you chase it, the further it runs. So instead, we are just going to take a little journey together. A slow one, a gentle one. And if your mind wanders, that is completely fine. If you drift in and out of the story, that is more than okay. That is actually the whole point. There are no tests here. Nothing to remember. Nothing you need to follow closely. Just come along. The train is almost ready to depart. And I think you are going to like where we are going. It is evening. Not quite night yet, but close. The kind of evening where the sky is doing something beautiful in the west. A soft, fading wash of peach and lavender, the last of the day's color bleeding slowly out, the way watercolor moves on wet paper, and you are standing on a train platform. It is a small station, the old kind, the kind with wooden benches worn smooth from decades of use, and hanging lanterns that glow amber and warm against the cooling air. There is a small station house behind you with fogged windows, and if you look closely, the faint flicker of a fireplace glowing inside. The platform is quiet. Just you and one or two other travelers standing nearby, each of them wrapped in their own gentle thoughts. Nobody is in a hurry. That is the first thing you notice. Nobody is rushing anywhere. The air is cool and clean. It smells faintly of pine and something else. Something you cannot quite name. Maybe old wood. Maybe rain from earlier in the day that has already dried on the platform stones. Maybe just the smell of evening itself. You are wearing something comfortable. A warm jacket. A soft scarf folded around your neck. There is a small bag at your feet. Just what you need for a night journey. Nothing heavy, nothing complicated. And then you hear it. Far down the tracks, two warm lights appear in the soft dusk, moving slowly and steadily toward the platform. A low horn sounds once, not startling, not sharp, just a gentle announcement. I am coming. I am almost there. The other travelers begin to gather their things, and there is something lovely about the collective quiet of it. Everyone moving slowly, everyone calm, no one bumping into anyone, no one speaking loudly. The train arrives with a long, slow sigh of steam and settles against the platform. It is an older train, the beautiful kind, dark green carriages with brass fittings and warm amber light spilling from every window. As it comes to rest, you feel a faint warmth radiating from it, the way something feels when it has been moving through cold air and carries its own inner heat. A conductor steps onto the platform. He is an older man with kind eyes and a uniform that has clearly seen 1,000 journeys. He looks at you and smiles quietly. Evening, he says, plenty of time, no need to rush. And so you do not rush. You pick up your small bag, step toward the open carriage door, and climb aboard. In just a moment, we will find your seat. And when we do, you are going to want to stay there for a very long time. Your carriage is the quiet one. Of course it is. It is narrow in the best way. Cozy, not cramped. The ceiling is low and curved and paneled in warm, dark wood. On either side of the corridor, there are private compartments, each one lit by a small lamp with a soft amber shade. The carpet beneath your feet is deep and soft. A dark pattern of leaves and gentle geometric shapes, the kind you would find in an old hotel that knows exactly what comfort means. You find your compartment and slide open the glass-paneled door. Inside, there is a bench seat upholstered in deep green velvet. It is wide enough to stretch out on. Plump cushions are arranged along the back wall. And across from the seat, a large window looks out at the platform, which is already beginning to slide away as the train moves. On the small fold-down table near the window, someone has already set out a few small things. A ceramic mug, a small pot of tea still steaming and freshly poured, a folded blanket in a soft heathered gray, and a little card that reads simply, "Rest well." You settle into the seat. The velvet cushion gives slightly beneath you, shaping itself around you. You reach for the blanket and unfold it. It is lighter than it looks, and somehow exactly the right weight. You pull it across your lap, across your legs, up toward your waist. The tea. You wrap both hands around the mug. The warmth moves through your palms immediately, through your fingers, up into your wrists, spreading gently from the inside out. It is a slow warmth, a safe warmth, like the mug has been waiting for you. You take one slow sip. It tastes like something familiar, something you cannot quite name, but that feels the way the word home would feel if it were a flavor. A little honey, maybe. Something softly floral. Something warm and uncomplicated. Outside the window, the station is completely gone now. The train is gliding through the edge of a small town. You can see the lit windows of houses passing slowly by. A kitchen light. A child's bedroom lamp casting a soft glow behind thin curtains. A porch light left on for someone coming home. Each window you pass is its own small world. Each one warm and safe and settled for the night. And then the town is gone too. And outside your window, there is nothing but open countryside. The last pale traces of evening light resting on the fields, and the steady, soft, hypnotic rhythm of the train moving beneath you. You let your head fall back against the cushion. You do not need to be anywhere. You do not need to do anything. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, on this quiet train, in this velvet seat, under this soft gray blanket, with this warm mug in your hands. Before long, someone will come through the corridor with a small cart. And when they do, we will have a very quiet, lovely moment together. But for now, just the tea, just the blanket, just the window and the moving dark outside it. There is a soft knock at the compartment door, just a gentle tap, the kind that asks permission before it enters. You slide the door open, and there in the corridor is a young woman with a small wooden cart. She has a calm face and an easy smile. Tea, she asks quietly. Something warm. You show her your mug, and she nods, topping it up with something slightly different this time. A darker blend, deeper and richer. A curl of steam lifts from the mug and disappears slowly into the warm air of the carriage. There is honey on the cart, she says softly, and biscuits, if you would like. You take a small round biscuit, the kind with a little sugar on top that catches the lamplight. You thank her, She wheels the cart quietly down the corridor, and you watch her go. The corridor itself is lovely at this hour, long and narrow, with a runner of that same patterned carpet. On one side, the compartment doors, each with its little amber lamp glowing. On the other side, a row of small windows looking out at the passing night. You step into the corridor for just a moment to stretch your legs, just to look. Outside the corridor windows, the landscape has shifted. The open fields are gone. Now there are trees, tall ones, dark and perfectly still, standing close together on either side of the tracks. A forest moving past in a slow and silent procession. The trunks are lit faintly from below by the train's soft exterior lights, and they appear smooth and silver gray in that dim glow. Between the trees, you catch glimpses of a river, wide and dark and very still, reflecting the last deep blue of the sky like a long mirror laid carefully on the earth. You hold your mug and watch the trees pass for a while. There is nothing threatening in the forest, nothing waiting in the dark between the trunks. The trees are simply there, old and patient and completely unbothered by the train passing through their night. They have stood here for longer than you or I can imagine, and they will stand here long after the train has passed and the sound of the wheels has faded entirely. They are not waiting for anything. They are not working toward anything. They are just being. You think about that for a moment. What it might feel like to just be. To not need to be anywhere in particular. To not be working toward the next thing. To simply exist in a quiet corridor on a slow train, holding a warm mug, watching silver trees move past a dark and glassy river. That is all this is right now, and it is enough. It is more than enough. You take a slow sip of the darker tea. It is smooth and a little earthy. The biscuit is sweet and slightly crumbly and exactly right. After a little while, you return to your compartment. The velvet bench is waiting exactly as you left it. The blanket is folded back just so. The lamp hums its soft amber hum. You tuck yourself back in, the blanket back across your lap, back across your legs, the mug settled gently on the fold-down table. The train moves through the forest. The wheels turn. The river appears and disappears between the trees. The silver trunks keep passing, one after another, steady and calm. Up ahead, the train will pass through a very small station, one with a garden of all things. And when it does, you will catch a glimpse of something quietly wonderful. But for now, just breathe. The train slows. Just a little. Just enough that the rhythm changes. The clacking spaces out, like the train itself is taking longer and deeper breaths between each beat. And then, outside your window, you see it. A tiny station. Just a platform, really. And along the full length of that platform, there are flower beds. Raised, wooden-bordered beds planted carefully and tended with clear love. In the soft night, you cannot make out every color, but you can see the shapes. The round heads of flowers, the soft spill of trailing greenery over the wooden edges. Along the top of the small station house, someone has strung little lights, warm and golden, looping gently from one end of the roof to the other. They sway very slightly, as if touched by a breath of air too gentle to feel. The train slows almost to a stop, but no one gets on. No one gets off. It is as though the train is simply pausing to appreciate the garden, giving you a quiet moment to look and take it in. On a bench near the flower beds, there is one person, an older woman in a long dark coat, reading by the warm station light. She does not look up. She is entirely absorbed in her book. Her scarf is wrapped loosely around her shoulders, and beside her on the bench, there is a cup of something warm. The steam from it rises in a thin, peaceful thread and disappears into the night air above her. You watch her for just a moment. There is something so deeply comforting about her, about the simple fact that somewhere right now, at this quiet hour, someone is sitting on a platform beside a garden, completely lost in a story, completely at peace with where they are. The train begins to move again, slowly at first, and then settling back into its steady, familiar rhythm. You lean back into your cushion. You pull the blanket up a little higher, up toward your chest, and feel the warmth of it settle across you. That familiar weight, that familiar softness. This is a good moment to check in with your body. Notice your feet. Let them be heavy. Let them sink down into the seat, into wherever you are resting right now. Your feet do not need to go anywhere. They can simply stop. Notice your legs, the backs of your knees, the long muscles running along your calves and your thighs. Let them soften. Let them give up whatever they have been holding onto since morning. Your shoulders, let them fall a little lower than they are right now. just a little lower than that. Your hands. Uncurl your fingers if they have been curled. Let your palms open or rest however they fall naturally. There is nothing they need to hold onto right now. Your jaw, your forehead, all those small muscles around your eyes that have been working since the moment you woke up this morning, reading and looking and taking in the world. Let them go quiet. There you are. The train carries you forward through the night. The wheels turn. The world outside is dark and quiet and full of its own gentle beauty. And inside this small, warm compartment, you are still. Soon the train will arrive at a mountain lodge. Just a brief stop. There is a common room there with a large fireplace. You will not need to do anything when you arrive. Just sit. Just watch the flames for a little while. The train has stopped. You are not entirely sure when it happened. The transition from moving to still was so gradual and so smooth that you may have drifted through it without noticing. One moment, there was the rhythm of the wheels on the tracks, and then there was simply a gentle, quiet rest. Outside the window, there are mountains. Great dark shapes rising against a sky that is almost full night now, with only the faintest trace of deep blue remaining at the horizon. The mountains are enormous and calm and very, very old. They seem to hold the sky in place above them. Through your window, you can see a low stone building, wide and solid, with a broad covered porch running along the front. From inside the building, through its windows, there is the unmistakable warm glow of a large fireplace burning in a common room. The conductor walks slowly past your compartment door. "Half an hour," he says softly. "You are very welcome inside." You wrap the blanket around your shoulders and step off the train. The air outside is cooler here in the mountains, crisper and cleaner. It carries the faint smell of pine and wood smoke drifting from the lodge chimney. You breathe it in slowly. It fills your chest, cold and clean, and then you let it go. The lodge door opens with a quiet, familiar creak, and then closes behind you with a soft, solid sound that seals out the cold air completely. Inside, it is everything you hoped it would be. The common room is low-ceilinged and wide. Thick woven rugs cover the stone floor. Deep armchairs are positioned in a loose and comfortable circle around a large stone fireplace, where a healthy fire is doing exactly what fires do. crackling softly, shifting and settling, breathing its orange and gold light out gently into the room. There are a few other travelers already settled here, all of them quiet. One is dozing in their chair, head tipped gently to one side. One is reading, the book held loosely in their hands. One is simply looking at the fire the way you look at fire when you do not need to think about anything at all. You find a chair near the fireplace. It is a deep armchair, the kind you can sink entirely into, the kind that seems almost designed to receive you, shaped by years of other tired travelers who sat in exactly this spot and felt exactly this relief. You settle into it. You pull the blanket tighter around your shoulders. The fire pops once, very quietly, then settles back into its steady breathing rhythm. You watch the flames. They are always changing and always somehow the same. There is a particular quality of gold near the base of the log where the wood is hottest. Then a shift upward into orange, and at the very tips of the tallest flames, a thin and fleeting edge of blue. The way a single flame bends and stretches and curves and then disappears back into the others and becomes part of something larger. There is nothing to understand about it, nothing to figure out or analyze, just warmth, just light, just the soft, reliable sound of crackling wood, as steady and comforting as breathing itself. On the low wooden table beside your chair, someone has left a small pot of tea. You pour yourself a cup without really thinking about it, the way you do something familiar and domestic without needing to pay it any attention. Your hands simply know what to do. The warmth fills the cup, and you hold the cup, and the warmth fills your hands. Somewhere in the lodge, down a hallway perhaps, a clock ticks, soft and even, not marking urgency, not counting down toward anything, just quietly noting the gentle passage of one moment into the next. You do not need to count those moments. You do not need to hold onto them or remember them. After a while, you hear the conductor's voice, very softly from somewhere near the door. Train is ready whenever you are. No hurry at all. You finish your tea. You set the cup down gently on the table. You give the fire one last look. The way it moves, the way it glows, the way it fills the room with something that feels less like heat and more like permission to be still. And you feel grateful in a quiet way, in a very simple and uncomplicated way. just grateful to have sat beside this fire in this room for however long it was. Back on the train now, your compartment is exactly as you left it. The lamp still on, the blanket waiting in its place, everything exactly where it should be. The train moves through the mountains. It goes slowly here, taking the long curves of the mountain tracks with patience and care. The mountains are enormous on either side, and the train seems very small inside them, but not uncomfortably small, cozily small, the way a single candle seems small in a large dark room, and that is precisely why you love it. Outside, the sky is full of stars. You had perhaps forgotten how many there are. Out here, away from everything, with no other lights competing, the stars are so many and so bright that the sky looks almost textured, like something sprinkled very carefully and very generously across dark velvet. You lean your head against the cool window glass. Your temple rests against it. The stars move slowly past, or perhaps you move past the stars. At this hour, in this mountain dark, it is genuinely difficult to tell. The warmth of your mug, the weight of the blanket, the stars outside the glass. That is all there is. You are on a quiet train, a slow train, a warm train, moving gently through the night. You are wrapped in a soft gray blanket. Your hands are warm. The seat beneath you is deep and velvet, and it holds you without effort. The lamp beside you glows amber and steady and does not flicker. Think back to the platform at dusk. The amber lanterns hanging in a row. The cool, clean evening air. The smell of pine. The way the other travelers moved slowly and quietly, and with no urgency at all. Think of the moment you first sat down in this seat. The blanket unfolding across your lap. The mug of tea warm between your hands. The first sip that tasted like something familiar and safe. Think of the trees by the river. The tall silver trunks in the dark. The water below them holding the reflection of the sky. Those trees standing patient and still and completely unbothered by the passing of time. Think of the little garden station. The raised flower beds along the platform. The warm string of golden lights looping across the roofline. The woman on the bench, reading, completely at peace, her tea sending up a thin thread of steam into the quiet night. Think of the fireplace in the mountain lodge, the way the flames moved, orange and gold and that thin blue edge at the tips. The deep chair receiving you. The warmth working its way slowly through the blanket and into your skin and settling there. And now just the train, just the steady sound of the wheels on the tracks, just the moving dark beyond the glass, just the stars. You do not need to hold onto any of it. The platform, the tea, the trees, the garden, the fire, the stars. You can let them drift. Let them come and go the way the landscape moves past your window, appearing and then gone, soft and then softer. They will all be here again the next time you need them. The train moves. The lamp glows. The blanket is warm. You are safe. You are still. There is nothing you need to do right now. Nothing to figure out. Nothing to solve or plan or remember. Just the train carrying you through the night. Just the warmth of the blanket across your body. Just the steady, even rhythm beneath you. The train carries you. It knows the way. You do not need to. Let your eyes be heavy if they are heavy. Let your thoughts go soft if they are softening. Let the sound of the wheels carry you down and gently further down. The blanket, the lamp, the warm mug, the stars beyond the glass. You are on a quiet train, moving through the night, going somewhere soft.